Good afternoon, everyone. We have another practice error test question here that we're going to take a look at and talk about some ways that we can go about solving this problem. So this problem asks, an equation is shown, y equals 1/2 x plus 3/4. Select all of the points that are contained in the graph of the equation. So by saying contained in the graph of the equation, what this problem is asking is if we were to graph this line, okay, we have a slope of 1/2, a y-intercept of 3/4, then which of these points would fall on that graph or would land on that line? And we have a couple of different ways that we can approach a problem like this. Okay, the first is think of each of these points, remember, as a set of ordered pair or as an x and a y coordinate. So if my x value is 0 for this first answer choice right here, that would mean plugging 0 in for x, what solution for y do I get back? Well, if this point is true, I should get 1/2. Now we can look here. I have two choices where my input is 0, but they have different outputs, different y values. So only one of those two is going to be true. Same here with 3/4. Okay, 3/4, so only one of these two outputs can be true. All right, so we can use our calculator. We can go through one at a time, and we can plug these in for x and solve and see what we get for y. That's one way that we can go about solving and seeing which of these answers are going to be true. Our second option also uses our calculator, using our calculator that is in the system here, and we can enter our equation. Let me move this over here so we can see. All right, so we're going to enter y equals 1/2. Okay, remember there's no fraction button on this Desmos calculator. We use division. Okay, then I'll hit the right arrow, so I'm out of the fraction there. X plus 3/4. Okay, all right, so there's my graph of my line. And at this point, that's not telling me a whole heck of a lot right there. I can't look super great and see where these points might be. But there's also this function in here. If we click on the gear, it says edit list. Okay, it's going to give us a few new options here now. One, it'll let us change the color of the line that we want. Not super helpful for our purposes here. What we're more looking for is this, convert to table. And what this is going to give me basically is my t-chart. The left column is my x of my t-chart. The right column is the y, or solving for that value of x on my t-chart. And it gives me all of these points. Now, if we look down, we can find the point 0 when x is 0, and we see the y is 0.75 or 3/4. Well, 0, 3/4. Now, 3/4 for x values and 1/2 are not here, okay, not by default, but if we come down to the bottom of the table, it will allow us to input any value we want. So 0.75 says it's 3/4. Well, it says when it's 0.75, the y value is 1.125. Well, 0 and 1/2 doesn't match either of them there. Okay, let's hit enter and come down to another line, and we'll enter 1/2. So 1/2. And note, we can enter it as a decimal or as a fraction. I see when I enter 1/2, I get an answer of 1. So I'm going to select that answer. So those are my two correct answers. Those are the 2 points that are contained on this graph, or that as we look at the graph of the line, those are the 2 points that fall on that line. And this is just another way that you can use the calculator that will be included in the error test for you for solving problems.